Congress gonna come in every time, then we'll have to use your
To protect the public interest.
Oh, yeah, you look at a dark grocery store.
Right, I don't know how we would know, have known that.
Yeah,
Trustee McKay.
It seems like, once again, this is, all this background has been shared in a very clear manner. This sale is actually going to allow the TID5 to close earlier. So, yeah, we're not getting the cash from this, but we are getting benefits. And it was a very good deal at the time. The risk was minimal. This was one of the first votes that I took when I was on the board, and it was a big one to start out with. So I asked a lot of questions, and we all put a lot on the line, but we knew that it was the best deal. So it seems like, you know, if you'll excuse me, that these comments about the future is kind of a veiled way of just criticizing a previous decision and action, which is your purview for sure. But tonight what we have is a change to a developer's agreement that is actually, you know, a win-win for everybody. And so I'm not sure what this is getting us to for this decision.
Okay, so I guess my last question then is, if we approve the amendment to the agreement, when does the requirement of information relating to the reconciliation of the cost of the project after completion occur?
No, never does.
But that's a requirement.
No, it's not. And as I mentioned to you, that's a stray phrase from the prior document we did in Mandel where there was a reconciliation requirement. But the fact is, that references, frankly, information that's going to be shared and whether it's going to be held confidential or not held confidential. The fact of the matter is there's no obligation anywhere else in the agreement to provide for a reconciliation.
So actual costs.
Yeah, right. So it's not a requirement. Therefore, if it were a requirement, that sentence would apply. But there is no such requirement. So as a result, it's basically surplusage.
And there's no requirement that if you exceed, you're not allowed to exceed 20%, but if you do, there's no requirement, there's no standard
Correct.
for anything to follow.
Correct.
So, okay. I am.
I'd like to make a motion.
so these construction estimates were scrubbed by our experts, right?
Yes.
Concord, it's not just they came up with a budget, both our financial people and our construction experts looked at all the information.
I don't think the construction costs came in materially different from what the projections were. I think the only issue that's out there is that the sale is probably higher than projected.
And that's been explained.
And have you seen the actual costs? Or are you?
I have not.
Okay.
One thing I keep coming back to, I mean, we can get into all this, but we had an abandoned Walgreens that was sitting there, paint peeling. We had a bookstore that had been sitting. We had wide parking lots that had always been the missing tooth.
And a substandard pick
And a pick and save that everybody thought was dirty and run down and really was not proper. We now have this beautiful grocery store. We have new streetscaping. We got a new apartment building that's going to have lots of new residents and restaurants. The street is just humming. You go there on weekends. We're going to have the new restaurant across the street. Things are happening. And we could be looking at those old buildings sitting there.
Or a dollar.
And it hasn't been that long, so.
There's actually an old Shorewood Today front cover that shows the old dilapidated buildings that you just referenced from an aerial view.
Yeah.
So that I would love to see that compared side by side to what we have now.
And I don't disagree with that. I just feel like to protect the public's interest and to look out for it, that's why municipalities put in a lot of costs. It's not that the project wouldn't go forward.
We
It's
are
that
here
just
to
go into
protect the
excess
public's
profit.
interest, too.
Excess profit. If we were just as much of an investor as the developer, if it was successful, which we all were protecting against the worst, but if it was successful, then we would have protection there too. That the taxpayers would be paid back, just as they are over their 20%.
Yeah, I just take issue that you think that a board would not protect the interest of the taxpayers. We took very good care.
I was on the
one.
CD at the time, and we discussed that at length in open and closed sessions, and it was not happening. And it was discussed, it was recommended as part of the standard operating procedure. So I understand, I wish we could have had everything, but this deal was not going to go through. We were protecting the public's interests.
Trustee Zolder.
I want to thank Trustee Rosick for asking asking the questions in writing that she did in advance, because that provided you with the opportunity to give that written response, which was, for me, extraordinarily helpful in giving me a lot of information I didn't know.
Yeah, I thought it was very helpful.
Thank both of you. I feel better about the project than I did better about moving forward. And I'm happy that this project went through, and I'm happy right now that we can vote on something where someone who took a risk here at Shorewood and spent all the time working with the village is going to make a heck of a lot of money. That's a great thing. You know, would it be nice if we could share in that? You bet. But I think it's great that there's people that are profiting.
Because of the fact that Kroger bought.
Because of the fact, you bet. I'm very happy. And I think everyone in Shorewood is part of that profit. Might not be getting the money, but we're getting all the other benefits.
Do we have a
And
motion?
early closing, yeah.
Do we have a motion?
Including early.
No, we don't have to make a motion. Do we have a language for the motion? Somebody have the language in front?
Do you need any flexibility for like any edits or corrections?
Well, I did make the change.
So you're all set?
Yeah, so I sent a new
Straight
draft over.
Can't make a motion if no one told us.
I'd make a motion to approve the amendment to the development agreement. By and among General Cap, Shorewood Grocery LLC, General Cap, Shorewood Garage LLC, General Cap, Shorewood Apartments LLC, Michael Weiss, in the village of Shorewood.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
And I just want to point out, what you have in your packet, there's been one change to it, and that is I had the wrong name for the village clerk, so I have to correct it. So now I have to correct the village clerk. Thank you.
You're forgiven.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, that moves us to next item on the agenda, which is 8B, Marketing and Communications, consideration of Shorewood Today contract.
This is just for the Shorewood Today portion of the contract, marketing program. Sure. So as you know, what our procedure is that we have our partners at the school district in the bid, and the CDA. But we have a process whereby we have a marketing and communication advisory board, and they make recommendations to the administrative marketing administrative board, Commissioner Leadership Board, which is represented in school districts, CDA and village. And they have recommended that for the Shorewood Today, we continue the publications and our team with Michelle, MD Marketing. And so that is the recommendation before you today, the contract review. Memo, the budget is within the same budget that's represented to you. There's an increase, as you know, in the amount to the team professionally, $47,000 last year, $50,000 that is being made up by additional ad revenues, and the $5,600, as we said in the budget, for the participants remains the same. So the recommendation is to approve the contract and revenue marketing for the Shorewood Today magazine for 2016. Sorry.
I'd like to add that we have had a request, or I've requested that the edit, or the editorial management team, or the board, review our policy for charging community partners and nonprofits for ad space. So groups like Seed, Shorewood Foundation, Shorewood Men's Club, Women's Club, right now they're paying for ads, and so the request was made that could we look into either sharing village space in our content, so they didn't have to, they could decide what they do for the community without paying for an ad, or if they could get free ad space. So that's just something I wanted to let the board know that will be discussed again going forward. And then secondly, just that the market research showed that the magazine and events are very, very, very effective marketing tools, so this is something that is a high priority for the program. And that this team has been very professional and creative and produced very high quality work that's been well received in the community. And been very responsive, and also always looking for ways to improve the different features that are included in the magazine, so kind of going above and beyond. So I think for that reason, I'm very happy that the recommendation was to stay with this team to keep that continuity. So with that, I'll make a motion. Motion would be to approve the 27 agreement for Shorewood Today magazine with MB Marketing Solutions. I'm sorry, I made notes over this. Presented and authorize the village manager to execute the agreement. Second.
Discussion?
Is the dollar amount 50,000? Is there
It's for the professional fees.
professional fees is the contract with?
So it's a $3,000 increase from.
Okay.
And that's to adjust for the number of hours
So, okay.
to write. Production, not writing. Writing is separate.
Any other discussion? Trustee Roser?
I have a question about the structure of the contract. To me, as we're moving forward with this RFP for marketing, I thought Shorewood Today was structured in the sense that it went through MB Marketing because she coordinated, that agency coordinated Shorewood Today events. I mean, so it was overseen by one contractor. I don't know how they, I don't know what we decided ultimately for how we're going to structure the marketing contract beyond what's in the RFP. But was there discussion on why we still structure it this way, where there's a coordinator for one thing, since we don't know who that marketing firm is going to be for the bigger issue, for the bigger marketing program? Why wouldn't we contract directly with the editor, who then would contract out for advertising services?
Because that's not what they're interested in doing. The editor-in-chief being Paula Wheeler.
Yes.
I guess, you know,
And
maybe
Andy
Michelle, you'd like to
Marcy?
speak to this, but I guess.
Sure.
Or Chris, would you like to speak to this?
I think that's what we're offering. We like the team, and we want the team, and we believe they did a great job. And we believe even with the other marketing being separate, potentially, Michelle may bid on it, I'm not sure, on the RFP, but, the coordination can still be there, so. It's a good team, right?
I agree.
I like it. So
Is there money though, we talked about the coordination fees during the budget cycle, like that we might be able to save some money by not having that coordination. Is there any fees in there? What do the fees go to? What is the?
Because staff hours go to managing the staff, selling the ads, doing the editing, designing the magazine, doing photography, doing the proofreading.
So there is some sort of coordination fee.
Well, it's not broken out separately, but I do coordinate all those moving parts for one magazine.
So everybody,
No,
That's
both
separate
of
from
them.
It's completely separate from the other program. This is just for the short stay magazine.
And that was true in the previous contract too.
And you're saying MD Marketing responded, they didn't want that responsibility, right? to the editor to be the coordinator.
The editor's never been the coordinator.
Right, she's
Oh, I
a
know it has
subcontractor.
changed. Okay, I just was commenting on the structure. I thought maybe there was an alternative structure that may have saved some money, but if not,
No,
and the
that was
editor
not.
had no interest in
Right.
applying for that.
Right.
Thank you.
Trustee Zovic?
I think I have two questions. First, this is $50,000 for the year.
Correct.
The agreement on page 1 of the agreement, hours, fees, expenses, reads, "Client will pay a monthly fee based on services provided pursuant to Shorewood's state budget and proposed attached to this agreement not to exceed $50,000. That's $50,000 for the year, not the monthly fee. The sentence starts monthly fee and ends with not to exceed
Would you prefer
$50,000.
that to be monthly?
Could you
I
work
would,
with that?
but
Could
we'll
you
go
work
with
with
annual,
that?
that's fine.
Perhaps we can just add something that clarifies
Clarify.
that $50,000 is for the year. Secondly, the printing and postage we pay directly.
Yes,
And
we
then
coordinate it, we coordinate how much.
there are some things that come to you that we pay for, some service, some non-fees, right? I saw
Like
in
the
our,
printing
I
and
saw in
postage.
today's